Let's go!
If you thought excommunication of Blue Point from Sony was the biggest news of the week, you would be stupid, because Phil Spencer just left Microsoft. And Sarah, which is crazy. Like, they were the two focal leaders. If Phil was leaving, it seemed like Sarah was going to be the next obvious pick, and she's also gone too. Phil Spencer, who has been at Microsoft since he joined as an intern in 1988, this bitch has been there for 38 years. And with Xbox since the software giant launched and its first console in 01 is retiring, Spencer's retirement is effective on Monday, February 23rd. Jesus. Sarah was long thought to be many by both sides outside of Microsoft. Spencer's heir apparently has also resigned. The new CEO of Microsoft Gaming is Asha Sharma, who I just got introduced to, didn't know she existed. Currently the president of Microsoft's Core AI project. That seems like great news. Finally, Xbox Game Studios head Matt Booty is being promoted to Chief Content Officer. Work closely with Sharma. Sharma and Matt. There is a road to redemption here. All you guys have to do is bring back Killer Instinct. That's it. Get the old KI heads back together. I don't know what they're working on right now, but I'm sure they'd be cool with it. You literally had what is considered to be one of the greatest games of that previous console generation. By many accounts, a top 5 fighting game of all time. What are we doing? Like, for a game that literally cost almost negative money to make, ended up going on for 3.5. Like, what are we doing? AI generated KI? I mean, I don't know if I want that. K-AI. I don't want to talk about it. The monkey's paw curls. How are we feeling on the vibes on this? Pretty bad. You know, if there was ever writing on the wall, and I have to give like Phil and Matt Booty especially credit. I know it was like a lot of their efforts that was the reason that Killer Instinct came back in like 2013. This is all going to come back to KI for me, dude. But like, Microsoft straight up lost themselves in the post Xbox Live Arcade era. I genuinely feel this, dude. After like XBLA wasn't really a thing anymore and they really didn't know how to manage, that was the stuff that propagated them and kind of like felt Microsoft is unique and they're allowing for different things in this industry. They effectively garnered and popularized like digital gaming through Xbox Live Arcade by making things like cheaper to publish for on their system, allowing indie developed games or lower budget developed games to be a thing. I personally feel in terms of what has been happening to Xbox is that after that era kind of went away, I don't think they've been able to recover. Granted, what Don fucking Matrick, Mr. If you don't like what we're doing with an Xbox One, you should go buy a 360. I think that the damage done by the Xbox One, that might have been it. The full commitment to like the money overlord, which was like television. I think that was a historical nail in the coffin. They never recovered from that. Here's the other like toss into the mix. There was definitely hope around a time period where it was like this Xbox Game Pass stuff is an interesting idea. It can work when it is affordable. But as much as like the Xbox side of things was able to provide so many studios with equity, to purchase so many studios and put a ridiculous amount of equity into the industry by just scooping up friggin' everything, that became so unsustainable so fast where it was like they were almost required to immediately turn a profit on that shit when games take 3 to 5 years to make, dude. I think I was even on board in those time frames where it was like, yeah, this seems like this could work. This seems like an idea. And I do think it got them the returns they needed in the period that they wanted. At what point do you recover from this? We need to go back to our core franchises and stuff like that because they're already doing that. They have a Fable game, there's Forza, there's some Gears remake, Halo's weird. Having somebody that's super AI focused in the industry. I did see that she also had some anti-AI stuff that like games need to be made by people, which is reassuring, but it's like also, what? This feels like it's video game Armageddon. I don't know how they make it out of this. How does this affect me in any way? To the average consumer, we're not as attached to the devices that run our games now. Thank you to Microsoft as well as PlayStation for the most part. Nintendo still holds that shit with an iron grip. The console wars don't really exist. So in that same space, what is important to us? To most of us, it's actual games. It's games and franchises. We get excited when you hear something like a Castlevania is coming back. You get excited when you hear that, oh, God of War is going to be a thing. It always comes back to games, right? The attachment rate that our console is going to be playing your DVDs, much less your Netflix, and is going to be your all-in-one system. My dude, that shit went out the window when every single TV also turned into an Xbox or turned into a PlayStation, where now you just runs all the apps. Like every single smart TV is effectively a console now because it just runs streaming services across across the board. So what does the console do that's unique? It plays games, man. I think it's wild that like it's gonna have to come full circle where what's happening at PlayStation and Xbox right now and all these major closures and now the leading of the executive branch has been running the shit forever. Probably saw some paint starting to dry on the walls here. It might cause a hard reset. I don't know if we're gonna get to a point where there's going to be a crash like the 83 crash. I don't think there's that. Things are still making a ton of money, but still like this is sad. I'm a Killer Instinct guy. That's what gets me attached to Microsoft, straight up. And when they are doing things around that like feels good that they give a shit about fighting games. I'm only directly relevant to the things that I have interest and value in. To me, on the Microsoft end, that's their commitment to some fighting games. It feels good that they actually care about like one of the more gameplay-centric franchises or genres that's out there. That feels good, man. So as soon as that's gone away for a very long time, it's like, ugh, I don't know, bro.